Yeah, bang on, mate. And you know, this pandemic. This is just one example. This is just one example. But the thing is, at the moment, it's such a poignant example because of how it's been allowed to play out. They couldn't have dreamed in a million years. If you think about it, if someone had said to you 2.5 years ago, whenever it was this started, that again, okay, this is what someone tells you, right? Just before this kicks off, this pandemic, I'm going to tell you this story. There's going to be this group of people led by a really famous guy from Microsoft who has nothing to do with medicines, but is a eugenicist and does lots of talks on TED Talk. You can find him talking years ago about depopulating the planet using vaccinations. So in this story, that's our starting point. They're going to meet up in an October, November of 1 year, and they're going to play out a digital, with lots of world leaders, a digital viral pandemic, which is a breakout from an animal of some sort that then turns into a virus, and they play it out as like a Fortnite game, if you like, where they're all involved, they've all got their little bit to play, and they realize quickly just how incredibly quick this virus can spread, and they'll have to lock the world down, and they'll have to implement vaccinations, and they'll have to stop people from seeing each other, blah, blah, blah. And then this is the story I'm telling you. And then in January that year, the next year, a dingbat bites a child in Africa, and what happens is a pandemic starts, and absolutely everything we played out in that game that we just so happened to make up 2.5 months, 3 months before, we just played it out. There was all media there. It's not a secret. Go onto the WHO website. You'll find all this information about Agenda 21. Have a look. It's there. This is our story. And the bulk of this story is after the preface, the index that you just sort of learned about, is everything we played out in that room for 6 hours or 8 hours, whenever it was, they was locked in there for 12 hours. That then played out for the next 2.5 years. Okay? Would you honestly, at that point, say, yeah, that's realistic. Yeah, I can imagine that happening. You couldn't. You definitely couldn't. Yet that's exactly what's happened. Bill Gates came up with an idea to play that. That was led by him, that get together. Come on, let's all go to Bill's. WHO's where he's at this year, and we're going to get everyone in, and we're going to play a big game of Battleship with the human population. Massive game. And you know what that's going to happen? Fuck me. Guess what, people? In January, we're going to sit back and go, fucking hell, imagine that. We just played that out last year. Oh, now it's happening. Oh, I'm quitting Microsoft. I'm now head of vaccinations. Oh, don't worry about them talks that I've said for the last 10 years about eugenics and depopulation due to vaccinations. That don't mean nothing to you because you're in a state of cognitive dissonance, and you're just going to nod and go ahead with what I'm saying, and let's move on to the next stage, which is jabbing your kids. That's exactly what's happened.